Okay, so inputting a listing, when we are getting ready to input one of our listings, we're gonna go into the MLS and you're going to go click on input. Okay, you're gonna select your name from the drop-down menu and you're gonna add a new listing. So this property is a residential. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to fill it from realist, which is the tax, which is public record, basically. So this particular property happens to be in Douglas County. And our address. What is our address on this one? Like 6641 or something like that?
81, I think. Hey, let me check. Give me a second.
6684. Okay. So 6684 North Winfield. So you just need to put in a little bit of the information and usually we can find it. So here we go. It found it. So then you're going to click fill and it's going to bring up, it's going to import a lot of the information from public records so you don't have to personally fill it out. Okay. So you can see, first of all, it automatically brought in the legal description. Your property subtype is a single family residence and it's a house. Okay. And then it says, is this a listing that was closed off of MLS and is being entered for comp values only? No, this is actually going to be for sale. Okay. So once we've done those 3 steps, then we can go to status. And right now we're not active or coming soon. So we're going to leave those. Okay. We're really in an incoming status. So what you're going to do is just click save as incomplete.
Okay.
Now you see we have all of these features up top. Okay. So first thing we do is just go into the listing itself. Put in your agent ID. Our prices are list price. Okay. They're always going to be list price, not base price. Your expiration date is going to be what's on your listing agreement. So when you have your listing agreement signed, you're going to have a certain amount of time that you have the listing for. So with them, we get the listing agreement signed on I think Monday evening. And so I did it 4 months from then. So that takes us to September 22nd.
Okay.
Okay. Your price is whatever price you agreed upon in the listing agreement. Your ownership is an individual. Okay. For this particular person, if you've got an agent owner, you do that. If it's an estate, you do that. But for this one, we have an individual. Okay. Your occupant type, it's owner occupied. Okay. Home warranty, we're going to put yes because she wants us to do a home warranty for this listing. Okay. So we will have a home warranty here. Special listing conditions. Generally, we don't have any special listing conditions, so we just say none known. Okay. Listing terms, this is how we're able to sell the property. So this property can be sold using cash, conventional, FHA, or a VA loan. And you could do 1031, but we're not doing it. If we were doing a 1031, I would probably mark that. Okay.
Okay.
Your buyer agency comp is what you're paying the co-op agent. So 2.8%. Dual variable commission. This means, do we change our commission in the event that we find the buyer or represent the buyer? In this, I put no. And the reason why is, even though if you remember in our listing appointment, we said, hey, if we find the buyer, you get a 1% discount. I don't put it in the listing because if we do find the buyer, sometimes what happens is the buyer will maybe see this on the listing and they'll come in and say, hey, we want to offer a lower price because we don't want the buy side doesn't need a commission. And we're going to be like, no, that's not how it works, right? They'd be like, we're coming in unrepresented, basically. And so what we say is, it doesn't matter if you come in unrepresented, we get paid the same amount. So you might as well use us. right?
Yeah.
Submitted prospect generally is no. This would be in the event that somebody had maybe listed the property prior to, and now we took over the listing. A submitted prospect would be somebody who already looked at the property with the previous agent, who, if we sold it to that person, that previous agent would be due a commission. Okay, so a submitted prospect list would be something that would be given to us by the seller that says, hey, my previous agent introduced me to this person who may still be interested in the property. In the event that we sell it to them, I would have to pay my prior broker. It's very uncommon, but that's what it is. Okay. There's a glitch in the system right now. We'll come back to this. You're going to see once we leave this, there should be a box up here that says who we're using for showing, whether it's Broker Bay or Showing Time, but it's not there right now. But when we go to validate everything, it's going to pop up. So it's kind of goofy, but it is what it is. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll go to our next tab, which is marketing. Internet entire listing display. This is our syndication piece. So we want to make sure this is always marked yes. This is what pushes the listing out to Zillow and all these different websites. If you put no here, you won't syndicate. Okay. This is if people that have IDX feeds and IDX websites, they want to know which field we are going to share as far as contact information. Usually I just do both email and phone number for listing. Okay.
Mhm.
Sometimes we dual market listings, like if it's a rental property, we'll put it in both residential income and we'll put it in residential. But in this case, we're not going to select any of those. Okay. Moving on to location. So this is why we want to pull things from Realist. You can see it already pulled a lot of this information for me and I don't have to put it in. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not in a special taxing or a metro district. Okay. So that's something you would need to find out if it's in a special taxing district or a metro district.
Where would you find that out?
So a lot of times the seller will know. And the other way that you can do it is look up other properties that have sold in the neighborhood and see if they're in a metro district. Metro districts are basically all pretty much newer properties. So not all new properties are in metro districts, but all metro districts are pretty much newer build properties. Metro districts have only been in existence for a few years. And so it's instead of paying an HOA, there's a quote unquote metro district, which increases the tax rate. So the taxes essentially pay for your HOA. Okay. So your subdivision in this case is the Pinery. You can also use the autofill subdivision and you can search for it. You have to have there we go.
Yeah, I think it's the. Yeah.
So the Pinery, and you can fill it with that. Okay. The latitude, longitude, we always have to fill that out. And so what you do is you click set latitude and longitude. You click set manually, and then you're just going to find the property on the map and click it. Nice thing is when you click it, it should show your person's property. Okay. So once that's done, click done, and you'll see that it puts in our latitude and longitude.
Nice.
Okay. You should put in as much information as you can. So the direction that it faces, the house faces basically north, maybe a little bit northwest, but basically north. And then also if there's any views for the property, do they have any mountain views, that type of stuff. I would say this property off the front deck has some mountain views. So, okay. You want to make sure that your school district is right. So in this particular one, we actually don't know what elementary school they are. So what we can do is we can pull it up through Realist Tax. So it's nice to have your Realist Tax window open. Okay, so there's our property. Pull open the report. there's our elementary school. So Northeast Elementary, Mountain. And then we can, while we're at it, we can double check that Sagewood and Ponderosa are correct. Okay.
Mhm.
So Sagewood, Ponderosa. What was it? I already forgot it. Northeast Elementary, Mountain. There we go. Okay. All right, so anything that's yellow is required. We can fill in anything else that we want to fill in as well. Okay. All right, building and site. So again, already pulled in some of the information when it was built from public record. Okay, levels in unit above ground. So in this case, I would say we have 2 levels above ground. Okay, and then you can put in the property condition if you'd like. In this case, I don't know that it falls in any of these, so I'm not going to put anything. Excuse me, I'm not going to put anything there. Okay,
Yeah.
Construction materials. So we do have cement siding, which is the hardy board. So cement siding, and then we also have, what do I want? And we're also frame. Okay, so cement siding and frame, and then we also have architectural shingle. Exterior features, any exterior features that we might have in the property would be valuable to know. Okay, so we have obviously rain gutters. I wouldn't necessarily call it a balcony, but we do have a deck. Not really, I don't really think we have a front porch. And the deck doesn't really wrap around, so. Okay, we don't have any common walls, so we don't need any of that. And then architectural style, you can put this in, but it doesn't, you don't really need it. Okay, lot size area and lot size measurement, we need to go back to Realist for that. So we can see that our lot size is 13,591. And it's square feet. And then if we have any lot features that we want to put in here, so we'll say it's near a green belt because it is. We'll say there's many trees. We'll say it's mountainous because it feels mountainous in there.
There's a golf course around, or would you not promote?
So this one is on golf course, so I would not say this is on the golf course.
Okay.
That's good. Any other features? Again, all these features down here don't have to be filled out, but obviously if there's something beneficial to the property, like we should put it in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Water is included. Water source is public. There is no well. There's no well usage, no well permit. The sewer is public sewer. Cable is available, electricity is available, natural gas is available. Phone is available. Okay, we don't have any mineral rights or oil or gas rights or mineral rights or anything that we at least know about right now. Okay, and it's not a new home community. Green features, these are going to be mostly for newer homes that have green features. So things like they have an Energy Star score or something like that. If they have a power purchase agreement or they have some type of solar panels, if they have green energy efficient items, okay, those can go in here. Parking and structures. So this is where we have a driveway. So with this one, we've got an attached garage and we have 2, and we can try to get, like, maybe when you're over there, if you can take your tape and measure it, but I'm gonna put in here oversized, deep. And then it would be nice, because it's an oversized deep, to get an actual thing here. So if I don't have it, I'll either ask the client, or like, you're gonna be down there, so if you can measure the parking in the garage. Okay. Then if there's any other livable structures, so if there's like an ADU or something like that, that's what this would be filled out with. And then any outbuildings. So if they had a shed, or like a, a loafing shed or something else, that's where you could put that in here. Okay.
Mhm.
Your interior. Okay, you can see again, already filled out with square footage. Basement, I mean, this one's tough. I actually don't know what to put here. I think I'm gonna say no, just because it is kind of like a raised ranch. So it does have walkout access, which is fine. I would just, even though this says basement, I'm gonna put no here and put full here. I might get questions on it, but people will be able to kind of tell once they see the photos.
Mhm.
Foundation is slab. Structural would be if you had like a structural wood floor and the home was sitting on pillars and you had like a crawl space underneath the house. That's usually a structural floor. Slab is on grade concrete. Okay. So now your room types. This is where you need to put in all of your rooms that are in the house. So I automatically just start adding a bunch of room types here. Okay. And so I know that we have 2 bedrooms in the basement, and we also have a bathroom, and I believe it's a 3/4. I come back in and recheck this when I once I get pictures. So I make my room, make sure my rooms are right once I have pictures, because it kind of reminds me. I also know that we have the 3 bedrooms upstairs.
Mhm.
And then we have the full bathroom, that's the Jack and Jill. We have a, let me think about this. Do we have a half on the main floor? Yes, it's right by the kitchen. And then we have a full, let's see, do we have the master ensuite, was that a 3/4 or did that have a bathtub?
There was a bathtub, and then there was a shower and where the toilet was in the
So,
master, right?
oh, that's right, because it was all dated. I remember that now. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got a bathroom full. And then what we're gonna do is put the room levels in. So we've got lower, 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 upper, 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 upper. And then we've got the kitchen, which is upper.
Mhm.
There's a lot of rooms in this house.
Yeah.
We've got a dining room, which is upper. We've got a family room, which is upper. And then downstairs, we have really, like, I would call it another family room, lower. And then I would say maybe like some type of game room or flex room that's lower.
Yeah.
And then we almost have like this little like kitchenette, but it's kind of hard to, I don't know.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to remember where laundry is.
I don't think
Uh,
I've seen laundry,
what's
but
that?
I don't remember seeing laundry, but I don't know if you did before I got there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it was on the base in the basement level, but anyway, so that's kind of that's pretty much the rooms. If I miss one, I double check it when pictures come in. So um um and then I'll put some descriptions in them. So we have 2 lower level bedrooms, and then these upper um and actually this one has a primary bedroom. And then we'll just do ensuite to large master or large primary. And then we'll do bathroom full. Jack and Jill bathroom. Cool. All right, so we got 5 beds, 5 bed, 4 bath, is that right?
Yeah.
I think it is, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. Cool.
Bed for
Cool. All right. And then so we have central air, we have forced air furnace. Our appliances, we have a dishwasher. I need to double check with them. I forgot to ask her if they're selling they're gonna include their washer and their dryer with the sale. So need to ask them that. So range, refrigerator. And generally microwave. So we'll double check on appliances. I think they're taking the refrigerator that's, or actually, I think they said they're leaving the refrigerator in the basement as well.
Okay.
So video doorbell, they said they're going to leave. And also, actually, okay. So then again, in the interior features that we want to highlight, property's got ceiling fans. They have the ability to have an eat-in kitchen because they have that little like breakfast nook in the kitchen there.
Yeah.
They have a 5-piece bath. They have, let's see, Jack and Jill bath. They have a kitchen island. They have a primary suite. They have quartz countertops. They have a smart thermostat. It's smoke-free. They have walk-in closet. Okay. Flooring, we've got carpet. We've got vinyl plank. What else do we have? What are their floors they have in there? I guess they had some tile in there too. Window features, they're double panes. We also have skylights. They have the fireplace. They have one fire. What's that?
Yeah, they have one in the basement, I think.
The one fireplace. No, they have the one fireplace upstairs, and then the one in the basement was they have that heat, or they have that wood burning stove that they don't even use it. So the fireplace is in the family room, and it is let's see, and it is wood burning. Okay, it's not furnished. Okay, then we go to the association. So it is in an association. And for this one, because I can't remember exactly what it's called, it's probably called the Pinery. So what I'll do is I'll look up another property in there and I'll pull the information and put it in here. So we'll come back to this.
Okay.
It's not a senior community. Don't really know of any restrictions or covenants in here, so say no. And then what does the association fee include? In this case, it includes trash and recycling. And then there's not really any amenities with the HOA. We don't have to fill out any of the transfer amounts or private transfer fees. There will be some, but we don't know what they are. So I'm sure that like it just gets done when we order CIC documents from the listing.
Mhm.
And then we don't know of any restrictions or covenants, and we don't really know of any pet restrictions or rental restrictions. So we just leave it blank.
Mhm.
The last piece is our remarks. So this is the write-up that we'll put in there. And then also any private remarks that we'll put in there. So if there's any things that we just want brokers to see and not people to see,
Yeah.
clients to see, we'll put it in here.
Okay. What would we put in there for this one?
For this one,
Like, would it be anything that's like she's contingent on the next house that she gets or something like
no,
that?
no. In fact, you don't want to disclose that. That's not your information to disclose. So
Okay.
that that would be you would be if you tell somebody that, you're potentially losing out on some of your negotiating power, knowing
Mm,
what the client's motivation is for selling the home.
yeah.
So that's one of the things that we don't talk about. So private
Okay.
remarks are going to be more like a um, something like I'm trying to think of an example. Like maybe if the seller needs a lease back. So she does want to stay in the property until like July 6th or 7th, but that's probably not going to be an issue. And that's something that we can just talk about like on the phone call, because we're talking a couple days difference really. So if they need like a 30 to a 60-day lease back, we could put that in here. Yeah, anything like that. So when you go in the MLS and you read like private remarks, you'll kind of get an understanding of like, oh, yeah, it makes sense that they put that in private remarks and not for the whole general public to see.
Okay.
Directions, I never fill them out. Some agents don't like that I do that, but I don't really care. So we have internet these days. You can Google how to get there. And then
Yeah.
exclusions. So you want to make sure that you have exclusions. Like if they are not taking their wash, or if they are taking their washer and your dryer, you want to make sure that they exclude that in here.
Mhm.
All personal property. This is good when we figure out exactly what they're taking from like the garage and things like that. It's good to know like, okay, what are you taking and what are you not? Like, but again, if it's detached from the home already, we kind of assume that it's excluded. So like, for example, the shelves that are in the garage, unless they're attached to the wall, it's assumed that they're excluded.
Okay.
So we would just need to figure out like washer, dryer, whatever it may be. Okay.
Mhm.
Then we choose whatever title company we think we want to use. So I don't know, with this one, let's use Chicago Title. And then the earnest money check is going to go to the title company. So those are always going to be the same with us. And then the contract earnest money is something that you established in your listing agreement. We're going to ask for 10,000 on this one.
Okay.
So possession, we're going to put negotiable because they might be able to take immediate possession, but they might not. Like if they want to close on July 1st, like Heather and Chris need at least a week after that. So
Yeah.
and then we don't really have any documents available, but if you did, if you had architectural plans or building plans or any HOA documents at the time, you could put them in here. Okay. All right. So now that we've been through them all, now what you want to do is you hit save as incomplete. You can go back in again, and now you can hit validate. And what validate will tell you is if you missed any fields. Okay. So it's showing us that we did not, but we definitely did. Why is that not working? Let's try this. There we go. Okay, so now that I tried to submit it, it's basically saying, hey, you didn't finish. Here's what I told you about this one under listing.
Yeah.
See, now it shows the showing service.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is with that, but so now it shows the showing service and makes me select it. but it doesn't do it initially, which is weird. So now that one's fixed. And then the association, you're gonna see it says, hey, you need to have an association name. You can't say, yes, we have an association and then not fill anything out. And then also it should be having something here because we don't have any remarks in. So it generally, maybe they changed that. So anyway, it won't allow us to submit the property. So you see, like, it's just not gonna allow us to do it. So what we do is we save as incomplete until we get that information. So then, like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to residential and I'm gonna pull up something in the binary. And I'll double check it a couple of times. So I won't just look at one, and I try to find one that, just in case there's different HOA associations, like, which there probably is, like this little pocket up here is probably a different set of homes, right? These are newer homes, so they may have a different HOA. So really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a property that's like in the same vicinity as ours, right? So she's right here. And so there's not really anything in that vicinity. So I'll go back to criteria and add pending and closed sales in. And now I'll try to find something that's close by. So now here we go. We have 3 that are right here in our neighborhood. And so I'll just pull up the listing and then look at what they have here. Okay. So Pinery HOA, this one says that it's voluntary. That's interesting to me. So we're definitely gonna double check that.
Okay.
So back to the map. Let's check out this one. So this one says Pinery Homeowners Association. It does not say it's voluntary. It says it's professionally managed. And then this one has the website better. So I'm gonna just copy that link. And I'm gonna copy this phone number, because this is probably accurate. So I'm just gonna double check. So we'll go back, we'll check another one. So same phone number, which is great. They don't have the website, but we already have it. Their HOA, what I've noticed in the Pinery is each person seems to have like a different HOA cost, which happens. Sometimes they base it on the size of the home and things like that. And so in this case, you just have to ask your client, like, how much do you pay in HOA? Okay. So we got 2 there. So I'll just check one more to make sure that we're kind of all on the same page. So again, the Pinery, here we go. It is interesting to see that. Chill. Hey. It is interesting to see that we have one said voluntary, one said professionally managed, and one said self-managed. I doubt it's self-managed, and I doubt it's voluntary. So I'm guessing it's probably professionally managed. So, and they've got a website. So usually if it's self-managed, there's not a website for it. Okay. All right. So now that we have that information, we can go back to our input, find our listing, go back into residential, go to our association, put in our association name, association type, professionally managed, association phone, and then the website. Okay. So now we can validate and we're good. And it says the only thing that we're missing is our status, but we're also missing remarks. So once we have those, then we can submit. So right now you can save as incomplete. If you already have photos, you can also upload your photos and do everything there. Okay. And then the next thing you need to do is you need to manage the showings. So you're going to open Manage Broker Bay. and this is something before we go live, we'll confirm. So we'll confirm this with Heather, but you can see instructions are unconfigured, they're missing. So first of all, we're going to do a seller contacts to confirm. So if you had a vacant place, you can do an auto confirm all showings, and it just means that they can just go see it whenever they want. We call it a go and show. Or you can confirm. So in this case, we want her to be notified and she can decide whether she's going to confirm it or not. Okay.
Yeah.
Our access type is going to be a combination lockbox. It's 0531. Okay. And we'll say it's on lower level front door. So people aren't going up the deck. Okay. Max showing duration. It doesn't really matter because we're going to allow overlapping showings, but I do 30 minutes. Minimum showing notice. So she had said 2 hours when we originally talked about it. So I'll just put that in there as a placeholder for now. But you could also require like overnight showing, overnight notice required. Problem is, for example, if somebody wants to see it, they decide at 8 o'clock in the morning, they want to see it at 5 o'clock that night. Showing time, or I'm sorry, Broker Bay won't even allow them to attempt to schedule it. So I don't like the overnight thing because somebody might give you plenty of notice. They might give you 10, 12 hours notice. But because you have this, they won't even let them request it. Okay. So you can put any information over here that you want them to do, remove shoes, turn off lights, lock the doors, knock first, that type of stuff. So usually those are fairly standard. And then what you can do down here, this is where you're going to add in her information. Okay, so right now it says that I am going to get all of these things. If they book or confirm or cancel any of this stuff, it's going to text me. But we also want to add her as a contact. So we're going to add her as a primary seller. Okay. I don't believe we need her email. We just need her phone number, which is 719-659-4680. Okay. And probably by text, we'll double check that with her before we go live, how she wants to be notified. All right. So she's going to be the primary, and her permissions are she can confirm, and we're also going to allow her to deny or cancel one, and allow the contact to soft suggest a time. So if she says, no, that time doesn't work, but I can do, 5 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock, we'll allow her to make that suggestion. Okay. All right. My battery's dying. I got to plug in my phone.
Really meant it.
All right. So once you have that, then you can save that. And now you can see she will get those as well. Okay. Now you can actually start to create restrictions anyway. So if she goes, I'm happy to confirm or deny, but I know for a fact I don't want anything prior to 9 a.m. Then you just draw this box and restrict it. Or if she says, I don't want anything after 7 p.m., draw this box and restrict it. Okay. So again, we'll just double check with her on times before we go live. Okay. You can do the same thing if, for example, if you can't show on Mondays at all, you can just eliminate Mondays. Okay. And then if there's special days, so for example, if we're going to make the showing go live on Friday, but we're not going to show until Saturday, you click on this special day and you would select next Friday and you'd say no showings that day at all. Okay. Ugh, I think it just canceled that whole thing. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Cool. All right. So that's how we set up the, and edit the broker bay piece, okay? Last thing that you want to do is in your input, again, go in. And this is where you've done this before, but manage your open houses, manage virtual tours. So when you get your pictures, you upload your pictures, you generally will have a virtual tour as well. That goes in here, okay? And then your open houses go in here. And then if you have any supplements, like if you're uploading any documents, those will go into the managed supplements.
Okay.
Cool.
The open house we are doing that weekend, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we're
So,
supposed to, right, but it'll be like the 3rd and 4th, right?
yep. Yep. So anyway, so we can get all that put in once we decide exactly what time, day and time. But that's kind of your basic listing input there. And then you can go back in and obviously change anything. We can't go live yet anyway, because we can go live actually technically tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, and we go into coming soon status. So again, we'll just be able to put the one picture that we took kind of from the front of the house. So I'll send myself that image and we'll put it in here. And then you can also get the open houses in there and get that stuff out. So the sooner you have that stuff up, the better.
Okay.
Cool. Do you know what days and times you want to do them?
Yeah. I was thinking about doing both Saturday and Sunday from 11. Well, Saturday from 11 to 2, and then Sunday from 10 to 1. So I was thinking about doing like 3 hours both days.
Okay. So add one is active. Would you say 10 to 1?
Yeah, 10 to 1.
Okay. So there we go. Cool. So those will be ready to go when we go live. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That is input for listings.
Okay.
Cool. So anytime you need to go back, again, when you're in yours, you should have the ability over here to act as me, essentially.
Yeah.
So when you do that, just input and come into the listing and make your changes.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, that's good for tonight. Let me know once you have the sign up and things like that tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll get it we'll get it knocked out.
For sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey,
All right, let me stop recording real quick.
Yeah.